So, I lured you in with a serious looking thumbnail. But I do have something to update you on, and that is the Masters of Cinema Ultimatum. I'll try and enunciate that a little bit more clearly. The Masters of Cinema Ultimatum series. So, for the uninitiated, for those who are maybe for some reason coming to this video first, the MOC Ultimatum was conceived as a series and a challenge for me to do in the year 2024. From January till the end of the year, I was going to watch, I think it was 184 films in my MOC collection that I hadn't seen yet. And by the end of the year, I would have seen all the films in the collection. So that was the goal, and I was very excited about it. And I did the first month. I worked out I needed to do 16 films per month. And January, I did 16 films, had an amazing time with that. And then I made a video which was an hour and 40 minutes long. I think it's one of the best videos I've ever made. I felt like I needed to include clips of some of the films to really illustrate the things I was talking about. And then I thought, well, if I do clips of some films, I should do clips of other films, and then all of them. And then the whole thing took like 2 weeks to make. And then I was 2 weeks into February, and I hadn't started watching February's 16 films. And I thought, this is a problem. So for the last 2 weeks of February, I watched another 16 films, including Showa, which is like 9 hours long, and its subsequent follow-up films, which some of which were very long, 3-4 hours too. So I was really happy with myself in terms of what I got through for February's 16 movies. But then it just became like really overwhelming. And I made a video talking about this, and a lot of great feedback from people, some suggestions, people saying, well, maybe you should wait till next year, or do half this year, do half next year. Really, it wasn't the movie watching that was the problem or that was going to burn me out. It was the making of the videos. And I really just envisioned simple videos where I just go, hey, I watched this and it was good, and this is what I liked about it. But I became too overambitious right from the beginning. And now that I've made that video in the way that I did, part 1 of 12, I feel like all 12 videos need to be that high in quality. Not that I'm saying that it's a high quality video and everything, but for my standards, for what I hold to myself in terms of my videos, I think it's of a higher quality than most that I make for myself. And so they all need to be like that now. I've set precedent. But I soon realized that was just going to be impossible time-wise. So I did settle on the idea of continuing on with the challenge. And I should mention that the challenge was to watch all of them, or by the end of the year. If I hadn't, I would sell the entire collection. Which is true. I was going to hold myself to that. But the thing is, I had no... I had no real doubt in my mind that I'd be able to do this. I had complete faith in myself I was going to do it. And I was excited about it. And I had an amazing time doing the first 2 months. But I feel like I jinxed myself. Because in the announcement video, I think it was the first one, when I got the introduction, maybe, I can't remember if I did an introduction or an announcement or some kind of video at the beginning talking about this, setting it up and telling people what it was all about. I said that, I'm going to watch these 184 films this year in the calendar year 2024, and if I don't, I'm going to sell my collection, and I'm serious, unless, some kind of personal thing comes up. And so this ultimatum to myself, which I'm committing to 100% with no semblance of kind of irony or satire or, just putting it on for show for the cameras, I am sticking to it, barring any serious life events, of course. So, once I was wrapped up with the February films, basically both my nans became terminally ill. And that wasn't fun. Still isn't. It's not something that takes up my time, because I don't have the time to even go and see them, really, which sucks. But it's just the mental side of that that's really been getting me down, and films are an escape for me, but the random nature of the MOC collection and all the ones I haven't seen in the collection are not really conducive to distracting me. And so I found myself watching other things and finding great comfort in that, and I need the freedom to do that during this time, because it's not fun, I know this is like a poor me kind of video thing, but it's just knowing that, yeah, I'm gonna lose 2 people I love a whole lot probably soon. It's just a real, you know, kick in the dick, you know. It's just like, damn. But I feel incredibly grateful that I've had a life where for 35 years of it, how old am I? Am I 36 now? No, 30, yeah, 35. Well, yeah, 36, almost 36 years now. I've got to, you know, have three grandparents and, you know, have that experience of knowing them as a child, as a teenager, and an adult. That's great. And that's kind of bittersweet. And I have lots of feelings on that and everything. And then there's my granddad who's not doing well either. And so that just all sucks. So there's that, you know, and that to me is kind of a personal reason to not shelve this series, but to put it on hold, put it on ice for a little bit, which is what I'm talking about in this video. Is just the announcement that I'm going to be putting it on the back burner, kind of. And then I had a health issue, still have a health issue. I had a hernia. I have a hernia. And I have health anxiety. And let me tell you, having a hernia with health anxiety, I mean, it is a motherfucker. I just couldn't do anything for a week because I was so worried, you know, so. And it's a thing where I know I'm being unreasonably, like, anxiety ridden about it, and I know, like, you know, this doesn't make sense, like, it's not that serious and all this and blah blah blah, but I can't turn off that part of my brain that just kind of, I feel it in my gut. Well, and I feel it, you know, feel the hernia as well, but you know, it sucks, and I'm getting better at dealing with it at the moment. I'm on a waiting list to be seen, but it's just like, anyway. With all that aside, I you know, I was like, in the back of my head, I was like, okay, so I don't, I just I can't face it right now. So how about in April? I'll get back to it in April, and then April was like, May. I'll start back up again in May. Well, June, and then you know, I'm gonna keep pushing it back. So at the moment, I'm thinking maybe 2025. We'll get to March of 2025, and we'll just resume from there. So it will still be a challenge that I set myself over a year in kind of chunks of time. But just to pause it, because there's a couple of things I want to do this year that I'm really excited about, and it's a good distraction for me. And I'm excited about the MOC Ultimatum series, but it's just because a lot of the films they're so different and so varied. And I know there's some of them I might not like, and I know there's a few things that I want to do that I'm more excited about that will again provide a better distraction for me. I'd rather work on those than this. I don't think anyone will care, anyone will mind, but you know, I feel like I've let myself down, not anyone else, because I just, yeah. But it is what it is, you know, and life happens, right? You know, who knows? You don't know what's around the corner, but and these things aren't, you know, I shouldn't say they're not that serious, because we're talking about two people who, you know, are not doing well health wise, my nans, but you know, could be worse, you know, in a lot of ways. And so it's just one of those things where I just think, it's not working right now, so I'm gonna put it on ice, shelve it for the moment. But I do want to make the part two, because I've watched the 16 films for February, and I've been getting like kind of not anxiety, but like it's been bugging me that like, oh man, I need to get that video filmed. But we're talking about Showa, which itself I think I'm probably going to talk for over an hour on. So it's going to be a really long video to film, a really long video to edit. But the good news is I have clipped 15 of those 16 films, including Showa, and I that was like a whole week I spent going through the film to get all the clips I wanted. And have I already talked about this? I don't know. I feel like I might have already talked about this, but I think I have like over 2 hours of clips. So if I ever need to reference anything visually with Showa for the rest of my life, I should have that material in those clips. So I'm kind of future proofing in that regard. I feel like I've see, sometimes I think about things I'm going to say in videos and I can't remember if I've actually said them or not. That kind of happens when you make as many videos as I do. But this was just the announcement of the de-announcement of the MOC Ultimatum, as I sit here struggling like fuck with this allergy crap. It's just like attacking me so badly. And as I look at my microphone covered in dust because I haven't used it for 3 weeks, is there any, is there any surprise that I'm getting absolutely kicked in the nose and in the sinuses by all this stuff? But yeah, real life at the moment isn't really great, but it isn't like the worst either. There are things that are very much worth getting out of bed in the morning for, but it's not a great year so far. I would say there's been some nice moments, but yeah, life can suck sometimes. But again, this isn't a sympathy thing. That's certainly not what this is about at all. And there are other things I want to get some of the 24-hour movie marathons done, and I keep I've been saying that for years, and it's that is a real weight around my neck personally. So if I can release some of that weight this year, and plug away at the No Stairway 25 stuff, which I'm really enjoying. The views aren't very good, but that's fine. Then yeah, I think, as much as I still really want to get on with this challenge, I have lots of ideas for like themed, blocks of 16 films per part, but it's I think it's best to leave it at the 2 parts and then resume it March 2025 and kind of move forward with that year plan that I initially had, and hopefully it'll work. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, if things change, I'll let you know. And I have to blow my nose again. It's like my body couldn't just give me, 10 minutes, 15 minutes just to make a video. And then, and then resume the allergy attack. No, it has to be at its peak when you hit record. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And look forward to new stuff, I guess. I hope. I don't know. I'm looking forward to finishing this video. I'm kidding. I'm going to bed, but I wanted to make a video talking about that thing. It's very late as well, I should mention. Oh, and there's like no time left on the memory card. Perfect. I have to wrap it up. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.
He says he's really cool, but I think he's a tool. Even though I'm sure he's a quite nice guy, really. He's a quite nice guy, really.